What's happening, man?
Carey Nordstrand, so great to see you and talk to you, man. And I'm glad all are safe over there in the Nordstrand household and compound.
Yeah, things are, I mean, we're good over here for the most part. We're fortunate to have a nice home in a nice part of town and,
Good,
you know, have the resources that we need for now.
cool.
I'm managing to keep the company moving right now. We got the guy that grinds magnets took the grinding machine home, so he's going to
Okay,
grind home. One of the guys took one of the winding machines home, so he's going to wind pickups at home. The other guy's going to do QC at home.
nice.
So we're minimizing contact as much as possible at the shop, and then we did a deep clean,
Cool.
and we're just staying on top of it. When you're in the shop working, you're wearing gloves. We don't touch our face. I think we might even be implementing masks, but
Cool.
um,
Yeah, flattening that curve, man. That's the important thing, you know?
yeah, yeah. So, but the other thing too is, I think whoever can stay functional and economically viable and generate cash flow in, so we can pay our people
Yeah.
and take less out of the system in terms of unemployment insurance and things like that.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way to be right now, as long as we can do it safely. So
Yeah. I think there's a lot of companies like yours, like Nordstrand Audio and you're in the food industry too, so you're doing ramen song,
yeah,
which
which that's tough right now, dude. That's really
really.
yeah. I mean, we're doing takeout and DoorDash and
Hmm.
post things like that, and but we're running. I mean, we have two people working when we're doing this. We have one to handle the orders and one to cook the food, and that's it.
Yeah,
So
that's
all the people that work for us, that
oh,
so um, hopefully there's something coming down in terms of taking care of gig type workers like that, like us. I mean, like you guys. Not
dude.
much me. I'm not a gig musician, but
Yeah.
I know hundreds of musicians that have just. I mean, everybody, all the musicians.
There,
They're
it's all the gigs. There's no gigs. Everything's been canceled.
doing.
Everything's canceled.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah.
So
Well, hopefully, funds or some like we were talking on our Big Bottom podcast yesterday that just dropped
yeah.
earlier with Tony Puleo and John Moody, and doing more of these, maybe we can all kind of powwow and figure out some kind of fund, something. Go find something. I don't know what, but something to
I
help.
didn't know what Zoom was 4 or 5 days ago. Suddenly, I'm like, oh, Zoom. Like, okay,
Dude,
cool.
it's it's literally the stock on this has gone because all the schools for everybody teaching their kids, at homeschool, they're doing those Zoom meetings,
And the
which is
funny
amazing.
thing about that, here's an interesting aside. I mean, my daughter's been doing online school for 3 years now,
Oh wow, okay.
and anytime there's a school shooting or something like that, I'm like, you know what? Gathering large crowds of kids in one place might not be the best idea anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe we can look at other ways of doing things. I mean, trying to fit everyone into the same box might not be the best way of doing things anymore either. So we don't really understand yet quite how powerful our technology can modify our lives in a way that makes it safer and more fulfilling. I mean, there's no reason to have this structural legacy that we've had,
Mhm.
especially educationally. I mean, we could get into that. I don't want to go down that rabbit
No,
hole.
but stuff is gonna change for
Yeah,
sure. Like it's gonna change from now on.
like we just said, the Zoom is coming out of the blue.
Yeah.
Um, so, and I mean, talking about technology and things. I mean, I got some other things I want to talk about, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
things are going to be different. I think this epidemic is going to fundamentally change society. I mean, I've read a lot of people are saying that right now.
Yeah.
But uh, it's I think one of the trickiest things is self-care. How do you do self-care? How do you take care of yourself in times like this? It's easy to read the news and just, disappear down a hole of despair. I mean, it really is terrifying. I mean, the dysfunction in Washington right now.
Yeah.
Um, so I think we need to figure out and help promote ways to reach out to each other, to you know,
Positivity.
facilitate people, you know, taking time to take care of their mental health. I hadn't ridden my bike in a couple of months since before NAMM. And yesterday I got on, we have a Peloton bike. I got on that and I was like, you know what? I have to exercise. There's just this like
Yeah.
how, so I got on the bike. And then today I was like, you know what? I was hanging around the house. I'm going to get on the bike again. Like, screw it. It feels good.
Nice.
So I did it, and it just helps keep the chemicals balanced a bit. You know, are you doing anything like that? What are you?
Oh, dude. So up until this thing, I was doing hot yoga literally every day. I started last March. Just
Yeah. Wow, you're still into that. That's cool, man.
dude, it changed my life. It was the best thing that I've done just for my mental health, you know, and it had to close because of this. You know, they had to close the gym. But I get out, I walked today, I walked yesterday, I did a workout over at O'Neill Park, just push up, sit up, you know, that kind of thing. So yes.
Do you have a yoga routine that you're comfortable enough doing alone at home?
Yeah, but I haven't done it. I need to do it though. Yeah, because it's the same routine. So I could do, the vinyasa flow. You know, I could do that.
Yeah.
But it's definitely like you said. It's that anxiety. It's the unknown. This enemy is unknown.
Yeah, I mean, you could have it now, and it could show up in 4 days, and it could kill you. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's the invisible monster.
There are a lot of things in life that can just straight up kill us, right? I mean, just out of nowhere. But this one is preventable. I mean, we can deal with it. I mean, we're trying. We're doing our best, I think. And again, I think, you know, just reaching out and I mean, I checked in with my cousin who I haven't had any communication with in probably a year and a half.
Yeah.
Texted him like, hey, how's it going over there? You know, and so I'm like reaching out to people that I haven't been in touch with in a while. A lot of family and things like that, just to try to, you know, I don't know, spread awareness around and care and connection and
Yeah.
I think that's
well. There's a lot more stuff that's more important than this.
Right?
I mean, this is society. And there's a whole world, you know, like now I saw more people at O'Neill Park than I've ever seen. And I bike there every day for years, man. And there's people just walking, which keeping their distance and everything, which is great. But these people are out hiking now. And my neighbors, you know, we're all saying hi to each other, which I always do anyways. But there were some that never did. And now let me know if you need something, you know. So, you know, there's this good and bad where hopefully we'll kind of all come together and raise awareness, humanity, love. This is, you know, people are more important.
The extent to which interdependence is such a huge part of a societal existence. I mean, you know, we're all connected, you know, and
we're all connected in real life, not just on this, because we've become so dependent on being connected, even though we are, but there's real people, like there's interaction. That's just so much more important. So
here's the irony of the time right now. Without all this social media, we'd all be that much more screwed.
Oh yeah.
Being able to reach out and be in connection and you know, and checking on people and sharing things like, so here's something that I just put on Facebook.
Yeah.
You see this? I don't know. You probably were up to your nuts and doing things, but well, not Zillow. That's the wrong one. Facebook.
Facebook.
Where is it?
I'm gonna look up.
Okay, so here's what I put. Here's an idea. Step 1: record something in your world acoustically or plugged in. Use whatever you have that can output a WAV file. 2: pick a tempo and record a rhythm to the tempo, unless you record a single beat.
Yeah, I see it. Cool.
Put 1 bar of 4 beats in front of it and save the stem. Record in whole bar lengths of 4/4. Maybe we can move beyond this later if it goes well. 3: if there's a pitch, please note what key you're using. 4: name the file. Tempo first, pitch second, length in bars third, and your name and sample number last. Something like 120 _ C major _ 4 bars _ carry 1 .wave.
Yeah.
I'll put a couple Dropbox folders up soon, separated by acoustic versus plugged in. Root around in there, pick what you like, and build tracks with them. Share what you came up with here, and then we can see what everyone came up with. and then maybe we can assemble it in three different ways. One's pure acoustic recorded stuff, one's plugged in stuff, and one's a mix of the two. And then just see what comes out of it, man.
I
Something
think
to
it's
do.
fantastic, man. I mean, yeah, I think it's killer. Like I said, I'll share it, and everybody that's watching and listening, go to Carey Nordstrand's Facebook page. It's up there, and join the fun, man. I think that's fantastic.
Is this thing live? Are we
No,
gonna
no, I'm recording it, and then it'll be audio podcast, and it'll be video podcast on YouTube. So it'll be, yeah. So,
all right.
yeah.
So to that end, I wanted to show you something that I find extremely useful in these times.
Yeah.
In the fact that we're all sitting here in front of our camera, right? A lot of us are sitting in front of cameras, and it's this it's about lighting and how do you not look like, you know, you're in a cave or at a dark cave. So this is it's called a Lifx light bulb.
Lifx. Okay.
And it's a tone shifting version. This is the cheaper one. So this is Wi-Fi enabled.
Oh.
And I've got it in my. Let me see if I can point the camera over here without screwing stuff up. Too many things plugged in. So I got this
nice.
light.
Yeah.
But watch what I can do with the light. With this app. I'll show you this app too.
That thing's rad.
So this is the app, right?
Okay, I see it. Yeah.
I'll click on this one. I get this.
Oh.
Now the light's over here. Okay, so watch what happens when I change this stuff. Turn the brightness up.
Oh yeah.
Color from daylight to like a really orangey reddish like night. There's a setting called candle, and it actually flickers like a candle too. So what you can do with this is you can really dial in what people see,
dude,
on your
screen. Yeah, well, yeah, I have two lights. Like that one's not on, but I have this other one that's kind of a warm thing. So
well, that's like the professional way of doing it.
Yeah, but no, I like that.
And this reflector is one that Cindy had. So for her, she was doing a home-based shop thing. So anyway, pretty cool thing. I'm building out the studio at the shop.
Nice.
I'm taking a pause on that right now for obvious reasons. And I'm going to they have the ones with the colors in it, and I'm going to put those all on the ceiling. So when I go in the studio, I'll have complete control over the lighting, ambient lighting, color, everything. So I can really make an atmospheric vibe in there. So,
I was going to say, you can get it nice and vibey and kind of, yeah. Not like this bright Costco lighting.
When you're trying to create a creative space, man, lighting's a big deal.
It makes a huge deal, yeah. My eyes are messed up, so I need light. That's the only drag. So
the older I get, the more I'm in that boat. So
it's terrible. Yeah. Well, I recommend cataracts because you'll get HD vision back. It's beautiful. I recommend. I do. But don't get a retinal detachment because that's a drag.
Ooh, yeah,
that's the bad part. So anyway, and the crazy thing, Asasonics, okay. We need to talk about that, but what's that?
Synonyx.
Synonyx. The thing I wanted to say is that, you know, in this time, it does seem that the online commerce is, I mean, it's actually, there's a lot of people ordering things still.
That's part of the reason I wanted to try to keep the shop going as much as possible. Because if you're sitting at home and you have a base and you spare a couple $100 and buy a pickup and you have a soldering iron, it's like, you know what?
Yeah.
Like, your base, like modify your base, like just have something to do, you know?
Yeah.
Get a mute, like order a mute, play with it, or what a mute can do for you. All these different things yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I think a lot of people are going to be, I mean, hopefully people don't run out of money and can't.
Well, that's
but so far, I mean, the truth of the matter is right now, we've never been busier than we are right now.
Yeah.
We're legit
ironic.
Almost 3 months behind on stuff. And that was why, like, when this whole thing happened, we got to do what we can to keep this rolling, because we have businesses that rely on us supplying them with products like Ibanez. So, if we can't supply them, they can't finish instruments. If they can't ship instruments, that hurts them hugely. So, I mean, thousands and thousands of pickups right now we're building.
Oh, yeah. And Ibanez, that's going strong as always.
Seems to be, yeah. It's like I said, it's stronger than ever. We've never been as big as we are right now in terms of pickups and pickup sales. So
Nice.
and then yeah, this thing is
Okay, so tell us about that. That's been a work for a couple of years, or in the works, I should say.
this thing started when Juan Aldretti, who
I know.
covering traumatic brain injury,
Yeah.
crashed right before the NAMM show,
Oh,
and ended up in the hospital unconscious. And
yeah.
he's making gains. He is recovering. It's going to be very expensive. But let me back up a little bit. When he was coming around, he would come around to the shop. Airplanes fly over here. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries, man. It's good. I hear you.
He would come to the shop and bring instruments in for repair because he just, he started working with Mo back when Mo was still out in
LA or wherever. Yeah, West LA or the Valley.
Huh?
Where was he at? He was
basically
yeah,
very near Mulholland off of Coldwater Canyon.
Okay.
Anyway, he one started driving all the way out to us, and it's like an hour plus drive from where he is to come out.
Okay.
And he would do that because he thinks we do the best work. I have to agree with him.
I agree, dude. I agree.
But so at one point he brought this old Goya Panther to the shop, and it had these funky mechanical switches that had kind of. So we pulled it apart and fixed them. And then I started playing it a bit, and then he was like, "Man, you should really get hip to these things." And I was like, "Yeah, whatever." Bass. And in my head, I was thinking, "You're into this wacky like pedal thing. That's not really my bag, so whatever." But then after a while, he left a bass there for us to kind of play with.
Okay.
After a while, I was like, "Wait a minute, let me pull this down and kind of dig into it a little bit more." Now I started to kind of go, "Oh, this is cool. There's something there. Like this is, wow, this is really interesting." And then at the same time, we were starting to build pickups for Strandberg. They make the fan fret instruments, which are fantastic.
Yeah.
So we started developing pickups for that, and those instruments are made in the Court factory in Indonesia, which is a lot of stuff is made. All the Ibanez stuff we're doing.
Good. GNL tributes.
Yeah, tons of stuff.
Everything. Yeah.
And the guy that I was interfacing with Strandberg, he goes over there regularly, and he was really pumping up the factory, and so this idea just sort of came together of like, hey, I should try to build. Maybe I can design a bass to be made in a factory, and if I could sell enough of them, why? Maybe I should make my own version of this this Goya Panther.
That's cool.
That's why the headstock's so funky. Because if you look at the Goya Panther headstock, it's funky too. But mine's funky functional. The string pull is straight.
Yeah.
The Goya, the G string actually rubs against the D string tuner as it travels to the tuning machine. So it's like, wow, that's an easy thing to fix.
Yeah.
Then I just kind of rolled with it, designed the body. The important things on this are the same as the Goya, which is the nut width, the string spacing, the pickup placement, the scale length, which is 30.7 inches.
Okay.
Which is technically 780 millimeters is the actual.
Wow.
They used because it was Italy, so I'm sure they used metric to sort that out. Got these push button switches.
That's rad.
Turn this over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shelving almost, right? Shelving kind of thing?
No, it's all passive electronics.
Oh, okay.
But I mean,
that's so rad.
Yes, but I'll get into it.
Okay.
So these are the pickup switches.
Mm-hmm.
That's both pickups, neck, bridge, and off, right? And over here, this is the tone section. So that's flat. That's a 047 roll off. That's twice as strong. And then that's a mid cut. But it's a notch. It's a very subtle mid notch. It's not, I wouldn't call it a scoop. Don't expect to get a great slap sound out of it. It's not for that. And then it has a volume knob. And then the keeper is you push all four buttons in, and it puts the pickups in series. So So yeah, I built a couple of these for NAMM show last year.
Okay.
And they went over super well. I wish I'd had them available to sell at the time. I mean, guys like Bob Glob are coming by and checking it out. And amazingly, he ended up with one of the 2 instruments that I made for that show. And he's had it since about a month after the show. And ever since, and it's his, that's the first bass he grabs now.
That's amazing.
And I still can't believe it, but there's something there. So the Bob Glob sound is all in, and then this third tone switch right here, which sounds like this.
Let's go.
So that's
Play it again. It didn't come through. Sorry. There's something compressing the sound, I think.
okay. Well, whatever. We don't have to play basses, but I thought I could make that.
It worked for a second. Try it again. It sounds like something is totally compressing it and it's gone.
Try putting headphones on your end. Can you do that?
Well, so there's other settings here. Do you see that little turn off original sound on the upper left? We'll get technical here for a second, folks watching.
I turn off my
Worked for a second. No.
Okay. I just turned off my talk back button.
Yeah, it's because there's different settings on here. Like there's on the upper left, there should be like your input, turn off original sound, and see that on the upper. If you scroll,
there's nothing on my where in the videos.
Yeah, on the upper left, there should be a little thing. No,
the bottom.
Now I can't hear you.
Okay. So, well, whatever. We don't need to get.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I've got. Well, here, do this. Go listen to Chrissy Hind track called "Stop This World."
Okay.
Rob playing this bass on it.
Dude, now they can go to nordstrandaudio.com.
Oh, that's on all the streaming platforms. But yes, it's also on nordstrandaudio.com.
Okay, and there's links on YouTube, I'm sure.
Right on the top, and we've got links over there and lots of sound stuff. And so
that's awesome, man.
I got 200 of these on order. They're $7.99. We're doing $300 deposits through the website.
Okay.
And I think nobody at the factory yet has said anything about any interruptions due to what's going on. But I believe that the bases will be here hopefully early June. And we're going to go over every single one of them, set them up, make sure they're dialed in. And honestly, if they all come from the factory like this, it's going to be great because most spent about 5 minutes on this one, just dialing it in, and it's killer.
Nice.
It's great. So right out of the box.
And they're obviously your pickups, your electronics, like
pickups that I designed that are going to be made that are made in Indonesia also.
Perfect. Yeah, nice.
So yeah,
nice. And then I also wanted to talk about. Hold on here. Hold on, please. My favorite.
Oh yeah, dude.
Dude. So this little box, it's damn fantastic, dude.
I couldn't have dreamed it would turn out as well as it did, to be honest. It's killer. Yeah.
You did some magic with that. I don't know what you did, but it sounds better than something that should sound like that's in this pedal form, like this kind of form.
Yeah. Well, let me explain why I think this pedal is, and I think I keep looking down at the one I have on the floor here. So let me
okay.
Down there.
Nice. How did you score one? Do you know somebody?
Yeah, right. That's one of the pre-production prototypes, actually.
Ooh, nice.
So the deal with it, I get complaints from time to time. Oh, it's not battery powered. I'm like, yeah, you can't do what we're doing with a battery. takes, what we're doing is we have Burr Brown op amps on here that use a lot of power. And it's a very simple circuit, but the idea was to plus and minus 12-volt rails.
Okay.
Clean power, have lots of headroom, have really flexible EQ with that contour switch to sort of get you started. And then the DI out, you can have the EQ go through the DI path or not. There's a pad there on the output of the DI. There's also a pad on the input if you have an extra hot bass. The volume line out has almost 40 dB of gain. So you could, I know guys that are just using a powered PA speaker and putting this in front of it, and they're tickled pink. They just love it.
QSC 10.2. I use this in front of the QSC.
Yeah, you're one of the guys. Yeah.
It makes it, yeah. And the other rad thing is impedance. You can change the input impedance.
Oh, man, upright guys freak out with this thing. You know Gary Lifx?
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, he teaches at MI. He's with me hand transfer, and he's a super humble guy. So he's not a big bragger, so he doesn't have a super huge social media presence. Ridiculous player. And he came out one time and brought a bass and plugged this thing in, and he was like, "Oh my God!" And I mean, he took it home right away. I mean, he was like, "All right, let's go." So
people don't understand, and it's crazy. Even sound guys, like even just with piezo pickups, that they're different than just your normal jack.
Yes. Well, I mean, the thing that, what makes piezo pickups work is a crystal, right? And it's actual physical compression. And so it's a crystal with one conductor on the bottom and one conductor on the top. And the actual compression generates voltage between those two conductors. And the thing is, it's super high impedance.
Yeah.
So that's why you need high impedance
input.
Right?
Buffer. Yeah.
Yeah, so a low impedance input, which is typically a 1 meg input, that's pretty normal on what most input sections are these days. But a 10 meg just plays so much better with that piezo output. So.
Well, it warms everything, even on acoustics. I mean, you're talking acoustics, you're talking double bass, anything that has a piezo pickup.
Yeah, totally. I mean, if you have a piezo system and a bass and you have a preamp, then it's less of an impact because it's not interacting directly with the impedance, because the preamp is buffering things and that changes the deal. But yeah, it's important. It was one of the main. I really had to make sure that we had that impedance switch on there. So
I love it, and the mute.
That's so cool. The mute, yeah, and the lights, yeah.
Lights, yeah. I mean, you just have to, especially for working guys, man. That mute to mute the front of house and mute. I mean, it's a huge deal, man. Believe me. I geek out with like Tony and John. Like we geek out on this thing, man. It's just so good and it's fantastic. I couldn't be happier with it. It really is. And that's going against like a Ready. That's going to get like other stuff. I mean, it really, like I got to tell you, man, it really is. It goes up against those.
Punches way above its weight in terms of price. Yeah, I mean. Yeah. $349. It compares to stuff that's 3 or 4 times as much money. I mean,
compares to a Ready. I mean, tone wise, I'm saying with that girth, that something that has a transformer and a tube,
the character, all that good stuff. Yep.
Yeah.
Transparency of the EQ. Yeah, it's all there. I'm so happy with that thing. I got a lot of them in stock right now. If anybody wants to go pull the trigger on one, see what
people. When you see this, check out the demos. There's a bunch of demos. I know the Bass Hang has some and. Carey has some. And then pickup wise, what do you got? You have any new stuff coming out with pickups or?
The only thing we've really got going on the pickup front right now is we've been working on the Blade P5 pickup. And that one is, it's a tough one because there's so many different form factors for that. So we're trying to get all that sorted out and make sure that we can, when we actually start selling them, we can cover all the P bases that are out there. So it's a bit of a trick though. So
it's a split P
blade. It's a traditional P bass pickup. Like it's basically a 5-string version of our 4-string blade pickup.
Okay. Yeah. I have my favorite new setup right now that you got me.
Oh yeah.
Was for the Devon. That actually this Devon is really old and I got it and I had Devon just kind of bring it back to life.
Oh yeah, refurbish it. Yeah,
dude.
Yeah, that's Devin's. Oh, look at
Hey, Cindy. Tell her I said hi. so,
yeah, yeah, that's just our NP5. It's our regular NP5 pickup, and yeah, it's I love that thing. But yeah, that's actually what Devin does when he makes those double J pickups. Is he actually takes two covers, shaves off the ears, and then basically glues them together.
Yeah, adhered, right?
A little different from what other versions of that you see out there. So, but yeah, it's a pretty versatile setup you got there, dude. Seriously.
Dude, this thing is punchy AF, man. And I went single coil on both. I didn't want to go noise canceling, so they're single coils.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Cool.
so I can choose the back, both, or the front.
Yeah.
Which is pretty rad. And it's got your 3B preamp, which
yeah. Cool, man. Very cool. That's a versatile space right there, man. Jeez.
Dude, and it's really growly. It's not as ash as you would think, you know. So hold on, let me put it back. So, and yeah,
that makes sense with all of the range coming off of that back pickup. So
yeah. And it's just mean and punchy, and it's more growly than it is this scoopy.
Right.
Right. So yeah.
Yeah.
And then music wise, you got anything? What's going on music? I know you're always writing and stuff, and
man, it's been what? We're zooming. Yeah, we're actually recording a podcast show right now. So. What was the question?
Just music wise, I know you had a record out a little bit ago
with a friend of mine named Julia, which is really cool. I think it's really cool. I don't know. Go very well. I mean, not many people got into it, but we didn't put much energy into promoting it.
Where can they find it?
It's on everywhere.
Okay.
Lenhardt.
One more time.
Julia Lenhardt, Lenhardt. I did 4 tracks with her that are out there. Other than that, I did an EP with a band called which is her band, Small Spaces. Mm-hmm. That's out there. I'll just leave him in here. He's fine. Okay. Sorry. Dogs. Wrangling dogs.
Oh, yeah.
What else did I do? Oh, I did a record with my buddy Moba Jones. That's like 3 years old now. Yeah.
That's the one. I like that one.
Yeah, it's cool. I don't know. It's so far in the rear view mirror. Oh my gosh, it's so loud right now coming through my feedback mic. Shh. My talkback mic. Yeah, it's I don't know. It's a ways in the past. My musical tastes and chops have changed and adapted, and I'm right now. A lot of what I do is I just come in here and I open up a clean session. I find a beat, I put a bass part on it, I put some guitar on it, and I'm like, all right, that's fun. And then so if you go to my SoundCloud page, there's a bunch of little 1-minute songlets that are interesting and fun, and I want to go somewhere with them possibly, but for now I'm just having fun kind of churning out a little 2 hours worth of something on something, and then playing with bass tone and guitar tone and yeah, having a great time with it. Fun stuff.
That's all. Just so people can go SoundCloud, Carey Nordstrand.
Yeah, just see what I'm doing. SoundCloud on Carey Nordstrand on SoundCloud. Yeah.
And then building instruments other than the short scale bass. You doing?
I think I have 4 or 5 more of these that I need to build for current orders. One of them's for Juan, actually. I got to finish that. Oh, this is a good time to mention too that due to Juan's traumatic brain injury and raising funds for that, the factory bases, I'm going to take 10% off the top of the profits and donate that to his recovery fund. Which, if we sell enough of these, and that's all really up in the air right now with the way this world is. But if we sell enough of them, that could be a significant chunk of change. So
that's awesome.
I'm not trying to, use that as a marketing thing. It's just something that I want to do because he was such a big part of how this thing developed and evolved and came together. So, yeah. That's
Well, he's a fantastic person, player, and just a
he's an original, man. He's just yeah, he's great. I mean, Jonathan Herrera and I were starting a podcast. We went around and did some interviews last year, and Juan was actually the first interview we recorded. And now that we're both have some more time on our hands, we're going to really try to get this podcast launched, set it off, and see how it goes.
nice.
We've got interviews with Juan, Larry Klein, Michael Lodge. Oh, my brain is farting. The guy named Joe Bagale. And then I can't remember his name right now. He was playing with John McLaughlin early on. What's his name? Apologies.
No.
Anyway, to him, I can't remember.
Cool. Yeah.
But Kai Eckhart. That's it.
Oh yeah, lives up in the Bay Area, right?
Yeah, great interview. Really, really interesting stuff. So, and then John and I we record our conversations, and we're kind of like what we're doing here.
Yeah,
we're doing the podcast too. So we're trying to get that together. But anyway, back to basses that I'm building. So there's a handful of instruments. I want to build one for Juan still, and then I'm going to probably make a few more P basses for some guys that want to get one of these fancy P basses.
Yeah, let's see one.
Here's the ash maple one.
Woo! Yeah.
Quarter sawn maple.
Yeah. Oh. One piece neck?
Yeah, one piece, of course. This one has a sort of a soft V shape.
Okay.
You can kind of see that. Anyway.
Yeah.
Light. It's killer. It's so good.
It's light, huh? It's all. Is it a one piece ash body?
It's a glue line, but it's solid.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's solid all the way through. There's a track on my SoundCloud called Wayward Winds.
Okay.
Use that bass on there, and it just sounds deep and fat. It's really. Then I have. Let me grab this other one.
All right.
I got so many instruments in here right now. It's kind of nuts.
No, that's okay. That's what you're supposed to.
I know. No, I brought them all home because
that's yeah.
Which, ironically, I'm not going to be at home as much as I thought I would now. But just because building basses is a solitary job, so I can do that. I can go in my wood shop. Nobody else is around. I can make stuff. So why not?
And it's therapeutic too, dude.
Oh, big time. Yeah. So this is the other one.
Oh, it's gorgeous. Wow.
It's actually Inca silver with lacquer, with a tinted lacquer on it, and then it's got a Brazilian board on it.
Oh.
And then the neck on it again is quarter sawn with a really nice tint on it.
What's the nut width?
1 5/8.
Nice. I like 1 5/8.
I had a 63 refinish P bass for a while. I don't know if you remember that red one I had.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I sold that on just because it had a 1 3/4 nut, and I just couldn't. I sort of discovered that I like 1 5/8. The Blazer is
the which?
That's the Ibanez Blazer that I have. Which I don't
5/8. Okay. Yeah.
But so that inspired me to get into making narrow, like mid-width basses, and then I realized, oh, this is home. This is amazing. I play bass when I play a bass like this. So
yeah,
I focus on groove. I focus on feel. I focus on tone. And it's I like to get into something where I'm playing, and then your eyes kind of roll back in your head. You're just kind of into it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I've been.
Well, and it's kind of a P bass thing. There's something about a P bass, that there's something.
I would have never. If you told me 10 years ago that I would end up being like a P bass diehard, I was like, no way, piss off, you're crazy.
I don't think anybody. I think it's a full circle thing. I think when you start off, you start with a P, and then you start getting choppy, and then you go, wait a second, P bass.
I agree. Yeah. I didn't start on a P bass though. I started on a Ibanez. Oh, wait a minute. Shit, it was a P bass. It was a weird one. It was a Washburn Bantam bass.
Oh wow.
It was a P shape. It was black and it had orange binding on it.
Oh.
I think it might have had 2 humbuckers in it, or it might have been a PJ. And I switched it to the other way because I was like, I got to change the pickups. I got to change the pickups.
Of course, yeah.
It's, and I got some EMGs and I put them in there, and I don't know. It was probably better originally, but whatever. It was.
But we all go through that. I had a 78P and I destroyed it with EMGs, changed it. I did all kinds of crap to it.
I'd be screwed if people didn't want to change their pickups. So,
well, yeah. But your pickups are having. So the pickup in that is your vintage P, correct?
MP4V, yeah.
MP4V, yeah.
And the body on this is a wood called okume.
I know.
So there's no glue lines in this. It's solid all the way through. And man, it's light, and that stuff sounds fantastic. So I just love it. I recently got another stash of I think 10 blanks, and they're all one piece. So and I think I got about 9 or 10 Brazilian rosewood boards left that I'm willing to use on basses. So I'm gonna slowly dribble those out, and then maybe I'll try to find more Brazilian. Maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, okume. We're GNL's building some stuff. We've been doing okume. It's kind of a mahogany-esque kind of thing, but it's got warmth without the weight.
Exactly. I like to think of it as kind of being in between ash and alder, like right in the middle,
Yeah.
It's really balanced, but it's fat sounding. So I love it. I'm just thrilled with it. I got some super lightweight alder the last time I went to one of my wood suppliers. So I've got 2 one-piece light alder blanks. I've got 2 really light one-piece ash blanks. So I'm going to be making some fun stuff over the next couple of years as I can find the time.
Dude, your basses it's killer, man. Basses, pickups, everything.
Thanks, man.
It's the best stuff. I love it, man. I got to get out there. Once all this craziness, I haven't been out to the shop in a minute, so.
I need to come by GNL too, dude.
Yes, you do. You need to come. You need to come and sit in Leo's office, his laboratory, in his chair of many hits, and just it's.
I need to make the pilgrimage. Yeah,
it's fantastic. Yeah, come out and hang after this craziness. It's we'll make it through it, man.
Yep, we have to. We don't have a choice.
Yeah, exactly, man. So where can they find you in socials? I know your website, obviously, Carey Nordstrand, or
I'm on Instagram with Carey_Nordstrand, I think. I'm on Facebook, Carey Nordstrand. I'm most of what I do on Facebook is public posts. I don't do much off the edge kind of stuff. So I'm very active over there. It's funny, every now and then people are like, oh, I'm going to take a break from Facebook. I'm like, what? Why?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you can choose. Yeah, you can choose.
So, I can't not do it.
Yeah. But. Well, the thing is, too, is you can choose what not to see and what to see.
Oh, yeah.
So choose not to see stuff from people that are your friends. You can still unfollow, but you're still friends. It's like, it's okay. So,
what to do, man. Talk about self-care again. This is it's a big part of that, right? Yeah. Don't allow yourself to consume stuff that's going to make you ill.
That's true, man. Well, dude, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to stop this for the audience, but we'll keep talking for a second. But I so thank you for just chatting, dude, and just being a great friend all these years. And I can't tell you how much I'm thankful that you're doing what you do. It means a lot, man.
Yeah, likewise. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, my brother. We'll talk soon. Don't hang up yet. But all audience, bye.
Okay.
Hold on here. I'm still learning how to stop this thing.